a strange experience. I was on a visit yesterday, right? And there was two children and some older people, right? And the boy, we were at all four, right? But there was only 4 plates. And the boy was sort of, hitting a big teddy bear. And when he started, hitting on the teddy bear, I took his hand, and it was cold, really, really cold, and it was really strange. And I tried to help cleaning up the garden and trying to find out what was. This area is like neglected. It's not so far from a big criminal town, so it's not because it's out on the countryside. It's a tourist place, and there's a lot of beautiful houses and stuff like that. But there's also a lot of, people who is pulling themselves away from maybe being observed by other people. You could say that they're very withdrawn, especially in the winter time. So it's very easy to, you could say, hide. If you wanted to hide with the children, if you want to hide something that's not, how you treat your wife, your children, your animals, is a little deserted in a way, even if it's close to a big city, right? And in general, they have this problem all over, basically. At this place, I saw like that there's like kids out here, but also there's like, what is the identity, right? But I noticed there was a boy, and the weird thing was that he was having a very unfamiliar jacket on. It's like a jacket that has no color. It's almost like a light mint, and it's very unusual that a child would choose something so pale in a way, right? And the weird thing was that everybody was away yesterday. Oh, hang on, was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. And when I came back, there was, or was it, I don't know. But apparently this boy, then there was a grown-up man with the same jacket on. And none of this, the boy or the younger man, I couldn't see the faces, right? So I was wondering how in the world can they have the same jacket? And of course, logically, you could say that the boy's father might have the same jacket, right? Both of them play with a football, which make a sound that's not so nice, right? And I noticed that the boy is very unfriendly. He's almost hostile, right? And he's always so hostile that he doesn't really interfere, which was strange, right? Then another observation I made, because I sense a lot of things, right? So another observation was that there was some kind of darkness, and I went into, what can I remember about this place? And I noticed there was actually a person that was in the dark, right? That actually wasn't here anymore, kind of thing, right? So basically, okay, I added up like there was somebody out here long time ago in the 70s. And then the dogs here, which is always sticking, not my dogs, but some other dogs, they're always sticking all around to find food and water and stuff. And then I noticed that one of the dogs had digged up a bottle from New York, and it's an antique bottle today. I think they made actually some perfume out of that soda or alcohol bottle, right? And that bottle turned out a memory I had, which is that there was once in the 60s or 70s there was like a tourist playland here with horses and rabbits and stuff. It was like, you could say, the first kind of playfield for kids. Very beautiful at that time, right? And there was some kind of, I think it was like the town celebration, and they had like activity here. And I remember that in that area by the tennis court, there was like some people sitting in the grass and drinking, and I remember the bottle that turned up like it has to be 40 years ago. So I went back to trying to remember the faces of these people. There was a man and a woman drinking in the grass 40 years ago. Probably some of the people that I've seen before, right? Or later. And I remember that the man he was a little like some kind of smart guy, right? So he might have been a foreigner or something. Then another thing is that around these houses, there is like a mix of who belongs where kind of thing. And there's a lot of the houses where you have a lot of, you could say, garbage thing around. And there's a lot of, when you have a lot of houses empty, there might be a lot of, moving in and out and not belonging anywhere. It's like, it could easily be a little bit haunted because there's really nobody, And so I actually found out that the people I thought belonging to the house that belonged to my family, that I maybe is the only one knows about it, and the other people didn't. It's very riddle. I'm talking riddle now because I don't want to, give you too much. But so basically, the things that went on when I was young, not over here, but in Copenhagen, captured in terror, captured in agencies, abused in entertainment, right? The people of that kind of abuse, that kind of violation, probably connected on these things, right? So basically you maybe have like an area that were in a sort haunted by some of these crimes going on in the entertainment and from North Island, or what I mean. So you have always, when I watch videos about haunted houses, or if I watch videos on ESP, I always search for reasonable explanation, as for example, manipulation of videos, people with double ID, fake names, wire scam, videos where the real things that happen has been removed, like let's say a car crash, or a person being attacked and somebody moved from the video, the security video, moved away the real reason. You could call it like foreplay or corruption or something like that, right? Also the use of mask. You have silicone mask, you have cover up with beer, with bananas, with glasses. And if I see somebody drive through here, I don't think, I recognize this guy. I actually don't think that, because sunglasses, fake beer, and the car, no, that's not his, right? So basically the only reasonable thing about haunted places and so on is to think logic. There was a man, there was a video about a haunted house, right? It was honestly a good video because it was not fixed or manipulated. And there was a man in this house that jumped around like a frog, right? And I thought, like, I knew that I think the person was a real person. It was not like a ghost or something. And I realized that when I grew up in my town, there was a young man who was very obsessed with yoga and who disappeared. And I think he lived there for some time, right? And I think that was the guy. So when I look at haunted videos or mysterious thing, I always think like this is a person in need of a police or ambulance, right? So basically, always when I look at mysterious videos, I always write like, contact the police if you see anything if you hear any sounds or see some strange people there is in distress, right? Call the police, right? So basically, I don't go along with magic or haunted houses or, when somebody knocks the wall, there's probably somebody there, right? And if there's a boy looking like a man, there's a reasonable explanation. They know each other. If I get a blue mark of something, if I get hurt, there's probably somebody out to hurt me. So really try and think logic. Even if you are a 50-year-old woman feeling lonely and like, the mysterious things of life, think logic. If somebody trying to drive you crazy, think logic. There might be somebody wants your house, somebody wants your fortune, and also if you talk about voodoo or religion or something, there's something called drugs. And if you don't know anything about drugs, contact the police. Because some of the drugs are so weird that you wouldn't even know the names. We're talking about driving people crazy on drugs. We're talking about drug rape. We're talking about abduction. Think logic and don't get into all of this shit with, there's like a ghost or there's like a spirit. They want your money and that's it. And if they don't want it, they're probably covering up some kind of crime, or mysteriously a missing person can be found sometimes. So if you walk into an empty house and you hear a door slam, that's probably the owner, or maybe something else. If you hear somebody scream in a castle, there's probably somebody screaming. And that's it. I mean, I don't fucking believe in all kind of stuff. And I know that they like to think that I'm some kind of, an ESP kind of person. I'm not. I'm the opposite. I'm the logic one. So if I see like a boy, mysterious, he's probably there. He's probably trying to tell me that these people are dangerous, or he's in danger, or that his father's dangerous, or the people around him is dangerous. And I wouldn't be surprised, because they are dangerous. Some people are dangerous. Some people manipulate, somebody rapes, somebody beats you up, and they live everywhere. It's not like we all are the same good people. That's a bullshit lie.